All right, guys, welcome to the WAN show. It's going to be a great show for you guys today. We are mostly set up, except there are definitely at least two things that I forgot. I didn't log into Twitch to monitor Twitch chat, and I only have one computer to do that on, so I'm going to be like trying to figure out...
Are you browsing the dock on that computer?
Yeah, I'm also using this for the dock. There's like... The mount for our pop filter is completely in the way of the keyboard and the touchpad, but it's okay. I can work around that. We have a very special WAN show for you guys today. We've got a lot of great topics as usual. What are our topics?
Well, first, Palmer Luckey, founder of Oculus, getting sued for stuff. Talk about that more later. And then Intel is rebuilding itself, rebuilding the pillars of its foundation.
Shut up, Twitch.
PC is not one of them.
Yeah, there's some other good stuff. California wants to ban encrypted smartphones, and the U.S. military apparently wants to build cyborgs by combining humans with computers, which the last time I checked is...
Literally the definition of building a cyborg.
Pretty much, yes, how that actually works. So we're going to roll the intro while I figure out a couple of things quietly behind the scenes here, and booyah!
Good job, Peanuts Gallery. What is that?
All right, we have some sponsors, including Freshbooks,
Lynda,
and what?
Comic Bento.
Comic Bento. What is Comic Bento?
Well,
we're not going to
tell you more about that later on.
Yes. Sorry, I have freshly
Hold up. Wait a minute.
last passed the crap
Let
out
me
of
put some Twitch up in it.
Out of a lot of my accounts, not to mention all the two-factor authentication. So it is very slow and very difficult for me to get into any of my accounts right now, and I'm not streaming from the usual computer. So all of this is making everything take much longer than I'd like. Do you want to jump into our first topic here?
Do you want the first topic to be the first one on the thing?
I don't care.
Well, the first topic is the U.S. military aims to create cyborgs by connecting humans to computers, which we made a joke about a little bit early on. If you're connecting now, the joke was, that's literally the definition of building a cyborg, so like, we get it, bro. Anyways, I haven't read this one at all, but unsurprisingly, it's DARPA. It's DARPA. They do crazy stuff. If you look at old military movies and they're like, whoa, we're trying this like crazy revolutionary thing, we're going to do some crazy bullcrap which probably won't work. It was probably DARPA. I don't know. They're the ones that have that like crazy robotic dog thing that carries stuff around that people kick every single time it's in videos so that they can like, it corrects itself. Have you seen that?
It is really cool.
It is cool. I'm not saying it's not cool.
I mean, it's
just, I think that's DARPA as well, isn't it?
It's like pretty the bomb.
Yeah.
Like,
it's pretty
cool.
sweet because you can, like, people walk up to it and drop kick it really hard and it corrects itself even on ice and then is able to keep walking and it can carry a very large amount of weight. I don't remember what it's called. It's called something, but anyways.
Yeah, so pretty much they want to develop high bandwidth implantable neural interfaces to open the channel between the human brain and modern electronics. Obviously, I can think of a lot of really beneficial uses for this that are not necessarily blowing up other dudes, but I mean, with that, like, I'm not gonna rag on the U.S. military too hard either right now, because frankly, a lot of stuff that is developed by the U.S. military for U.S. military purposes does eventually end up getting used for something that's a little bit nicer,
or a form of it will.
Yeah. It's not a new research topic by any stretch of the imagination, but most of the projects have been hampered by slow, limited control. So NESD manager for DARPA says today's brain-computer interface systems are like two supercomputers trying to talk to each other using an old 300 baud modem, which is actually kind of a clever way of putting that. I mean, computers are fast and the human brain is amazing, but right now the interfaces we have between them, I mean, the best we can do at the moment is a keyboard and mouse, which if you wanted to break that down into like data rate,
really, 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 really slow. Like painfully slow.
So the aim then is to connect individual neurons and establish much finer control with less noise so that you can speed up the communication. This will require breakthroughs in the following: neuroscience, synthetic biology, low-power electronics, photonics, medical device engineering and packaging, and all of that is according to the agency.
No big deal.
Yeah, so
Whatever.
So it's like I might as well say that I'm planning to build a flying fish,
We can figure it out by Friday.
which will require advancements in aerodynamics.
It is Friday.
You know, oxygen-fish interface material stosis, and
That's a word.
I wish them luck. Basically, well,
It's DARPA, so if someone's going to be like, we're going to do this thing, it's going to require all this crazy crap, they're the right people to say that.
yeah, I suppose.
Just being honest.
That's pretty true. Oh, that's basically the beginning of Black Ops 3. Oh, yeah, okay.
Some people keep on saying Free Geek. Yes, we are here. If people
Yes,
didn't see the
we
tweet
are.
that we sent out, we are currently at Free Geek.
Yes,
Actually,
we are.
like, we're right at the receiving bay.
Yeah,
So-
no, there's like some cool stuff going down here. I'm actually
Don't we need to, like, pivot?
no, I'm gonna hope this works. Wish me luck.
What
I'm
is it?
turning
What's
on
the-
the Bison Cam.
Okay.
Yes, the Bison Cam is here.
Why did you turn that on?
I
Oh.
turned on the Bison Cam. Hey, look, it's Brandon standing on a thing. Hi, Brandon.
Hi, Brandon.
Good job, Brandon. Whoa, there
That's why I
goes
didn't think this
everything.
was a
Oh,
good idea.
wow.
I
No,
could
we're
just
still
pivot
good.
that
No, it's okay. We're still good. We're still good. Stay the course. Stay the course. Hi, Burkle. Hi, Dennis. Hi, Ed. Hi, Yvonne. Hi, John. Hi, Taryn. I can't see you guys because Dennis is in the way. So, yeah.
Okay. Way to
We're-
destroy everything.
We're back. We're back. I didn't destroy everything, only the things you created.
No. It's funny because it's true.
So there. Whoa.
Oh, no.
No, we
think
might
I
be
got
okay.
it.
We might be okay. Come on, baby, pull together.
Yeah!
Yeah! Woo! Okay.
So
Excellent
I'll
work.
keep working on this. You host the show.
That's fine. No, I won't touch it again. I promise.
No, it's this cable shouldn't be wrapped around the way it is. Don't make that face. It worries me so much. Okay, it's supposed to go this way.
Oh my goodness.
I got it. It's
Everything is so fragile.
fine. Everything is awesome.
All right, so basically we spent the day at Free Geek volunteering. Well, actually, okay, technically our people who I pay, which includes me, are we volunteers?
yes, because the
if we're
company
paid to be here.
The company is we're not paid by them.
Right.
The company is volunteering the company's time.
So the Linus Media Group company volunteered the time of almost all of its employees except for Colton and Nick, who...
The business team.
Yeah, the business team. Yeah, they're just about money. Yeah, that's right. No, seriously, though, Nick was traveling for a family thing.
And Colton was actually preparing this show.
Yeah, so he kind of had important work to do. So everyone's here. We worked on dismantling computers. We worked on refurbishing computers. We worked on tearing down old stuff that's not worth dismantling or refurbishing.
We didn't get to work on some cool things, just honestly because I think we didn't have enough time. But there was like testing RAM, wiping hard drives with DBAN, and then installing free open source stuff on them. Right now they're doing Ubuntu, hopefully Mint later. The laptop area was pretty crazy.
This is a very, very cool operation they've got going on here. I think it's fantastic. We've actually got not one, but two videos coming up. So we're going to have one where we show you guys around Free Geek, and the point of that video is not necessarily Free Geek Vancouver, Free Geek Vancouver, Free Geek Vancouver. It's not that. It's more just to talk about these kinds of operations, how cool they are, and point out that you may have something similar in your area, and it might be worth it. It might straight up be like from a dollars and cents, like
Yep.
Nick and Colton would understand it, perspective. It might be worth spending some time volunteering because this is something cool we didn't know about Free Geek. They will actually give anyone who volunteers here for, I think it's
knew that.
24 hours or 48 hours?
24 hours, you get either a computer, which is estimated value somewhere around $50,
Yep.
or a $50 store credit. And after you volunteer for, I think, 12 hours, they give
Like
you 40,
another 12
they get-
hours?
Is it another 12 hours or just 12 hours in general?
get
I don't
a-
know. You get a 40% discount in the store other than on laptops, which is a 20% discount. And that makes the already really cheap stuff that they sell actually ridiculously dirt cheap.
Yeah, totally true. Hi, can I help you? Can I help you, Taryn? Hi.
Not disruptive at all.
That boy ain't right.
Anyways, yeah, so like it's actually pretty sick. And one thing that I observed too is if I could have came here when I was a kid, if I knew that these places existed, I would have been able to accelerate the learning of building computers and what goes into a computer and how to diagnose things so much.
The experience that you guys... Sorry, guys, the gain's not really that high. The issue is that those guys are that loud. So, yeah. Anyway, what was I going to say? Right, yeah, I think that even for me, I learned multiple things today. I learned more than one new thing about computers. For me particularly, the most enlightening part was working on some really old stuff. So I tore apart an old quad socket Intel Pentium Pro computer.
So cool.
That was so cool. It had like 14 expansion slots. It was like, if you guys have seen a Mountain Mods case, like those double wide, super big tower cases, it came in one of those.
Yeah.
But like obviously all steel and beige and old and all that kind of stuff. Like, and I was tearing this thing apart. I was going, holy crap, modular power supplies, not a new thing at all. Those computers had these ginormous, like we're talking a 120 millimeter fan on the back, doesn't even take up the whole back of the power supply. Ginormous redundant modular power supplies, and I was like, what? So cool. And this thing is so old that it had a Y2K compliancy sticker on the back.
There was also one, my favorite one was the other one that said Y2K...
not a risk, or like...
Y2K...
Y2K vulnerable
system.
Vulnerable system. So, guys, we have 2 videos coming up. The first one, the video is just a tour of Free Geek and what they do here and all the different stations they have. Should be really fun. And then the second one is just kind of like a moving vlog style look at what our crew did while we were volunteering here today, being hopefully mostly helpful with the exception of Taryn, and should just be kind of a fun little video, so make sure you don't miss it.
All at one station right now.
I'm not sure. I think they're winding down. I think they're heading out pretty quick anyway. Okay. But all right, let's move on. Shall we move on to our next WAN show topic here?
Yes.
Yes. This is a thing.
California wants to ban encrypted smartphones. The idea isn't like, oh, terrorism. We need to ban the encryptions because the terrorists will encrypt the ideas for the bombs. No, it's apparently for a human trafficking thing. Did you like my...
Yes, I did. I quite liked it.
It was apparently for human trafficking, so the idea is that a smartphone manufacturer that is trying to sell stuff in California would be able to, would have to set in the ability for a device to be decrypted and unlocked by its manufacturer or by its operating system provider, so iOS or Android, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? There's a lot of... The encryption argument is not as simple and not as cut and dried as a lot of people would make it out to be. With that said, I cannot get behind legislative movements that would make encryption illegal. I do understand the argument that, you know, the purchase and sale of human people, an industry that is very much alive and well, you know, as much as we'd all love to pretend that, you know, the issue with black slavery in the United States was the end of it. It was not by any stretch of the imagination the end. It was a travesty then, it's a travesty now, and it's absolutely disgusting in any shape or form. And to look at it and go, you know, well, the fact that there's these encrypted communications and these encrypted devices that these people are utilizing to circumvent the law and keep these people from regaining their freedom is disgusting, but again, I really don't think the answer is to outlaw encryption and to put the decryption of said device in the hands of the manufacturer, where, quite frankly, what is the regulation?
Yeah, basically none. And like the idea of sacrificing liberty for other things is maybe something that's a little bit too advanced for our show, and we probably shouldn't even be talking about that. But yeah, I don't know.
So
I was expecting those comments were gonna come up.
Yeah, okay, I said black. The same way that I will say white or brown because it's short, it's a single syllable. It has nothing to do with political correctness or non-political correctness. It's out of convenience.
Samsung has been taken to court by a Dutch consumer watchdog over failing to update its phones. Oof, there's an official statement from Samsung. It's pretty long, so give me a sec. At Samsung, we understand that our success depends on consumers' trust in us and the products and services that we provide. That is why we have made a number of commitments in recent months to better inform consumers about the status of security issues and the measures we are taking to address those issues. Data security is a top priority, and we work hard every day to ensure that the devices we sell and the information contained on those devices is safeguarded.
So what?
I don't think they
What?
said anything.
They
It's a really long blurb.
They said nothing. They committed nothing. All they said is data security is a top priority and we work hard every day.
We try really hard. Hopefully that's good enough. Yay!
Well, it isn't.
Nope.
Just throwing that out there. And
Nope.
also,
remember that whole statistic that we covered on the WAN show not that long ago where it's
Yeah.
like, wow, Android phones suck for security.
yep, they're like actually the bomb. Like they explode in your face.
No, they don't.
They don't explode in your face, but
Nope.
but they figuratively explode in your pants, which is a different explosion that's I don't think Twitch actually allows
They have
us
security problems.
They have security problems. So basically, all I have to really say about this article is good on you. I would like to see every consumer watchdog organization run around and
Good job,
start
Dutch people.
nailing these cell phone companies for not providing updates for their phones because, quite frankly, even on flagship class devices, we're talking devices with a BOM cost somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 to 40% of the price that the consumer is actually paying for it, where they're literally bringing in hundreds of dollars of profit per device. Even on flagship devices, it is rare to see an Android smartphone maker support it for longer than about a year. If you are a year to 2 years, if you're lucky, past the EOL date.
And then that's a huge problem because, what if you don't buy it immediately on launch?
Yeah, that's it's so yes, because a lot of the time the support seems to have more to do with the launch date.
Yeah.
That is a very good point than to do with the EOL date. Whereas the way, and I know I always pointed Apple as, and they're not a perfect shining example. In fact, I watched a great, just fantastic video on YouTube by, I wish.
Hold up, one second. If you guys are just going to hang around and chat, please do it over there. It's probably too loud for the Twitch chat. I know.
Oh, they're working. Okay, yeah,
Well,
that's fine.
Not everyone was. I wasn't
okay.
addressing everyone.
So I watched this great video by a guy who works in in an Apple repair, like Apple products repair shop. He's got this microscope, and he kind of walks you through. It's about an hour-long video, but I sat and watched damn near the whole thing, which is very unusual for me. And he walks you through this.
You watched like 30% of my Oculus video.
Yeah, I will finish it. I don't watch much YouTube. Sorry. Anyway,
either.
he does a motherboard repair on a MacBook while spending the entire time talking about the way that Apple has made and continues to make difficult the lives of the people who repair and refurbish their products.
Oh, I've seen this. I watched the whole thing,
Intentionally.
too.
Yeah, it was excellent,
Yeah, it
wasn't
was, yeah.
And he basically goes, well, they could provide me with this fantastic diagram that tells me exactly what all these components are and what they do and how I can repair them, but they don't. They give it to the Apple Store, who uses it to do nothing, who uses it to just plug into a console and say, replace. Whereas he's like, I could take that information and I could solder a new wire over your precious black clean PCB that you don't want a bunch of wires running around on, and I could fix that computer. And he brought up some really interesting points, things that I didn't realize. Like, for example, and you can pardon my ignorance here, please, I didn't know that the iPhone 5S, if you replace the phone button, or the home button, well, it is kind of the only button on an iPhone.
Yeah.
If you replace the home button on it, Touch ID goes away. I did not know that. The home button is one of the most common things that needs to be repaired on an iPhone. The bloody things break all the time. And it's like, only Apple, if they repair your home button, can keep Touch ID functionality working. And I was like, really? Why? Because the encryption is on a chip in the phone. There is no reason, there is nothing that is anything to do with that button that would make it so you couldn't do that. And so, okay, so coming back to my point. The point is not that Apple is some kind of shining example for, being pro-consumer and consumer rights. And there's a lot of arguments being made that they intentionally slow down their phones.
Yeah.
Something I don't necessarily actually buy, because something a lot of people don't really consider in all of that is that there's a lot more to faster phones than just a faster processor and more RAM. There's the fact that mobile storage, has improved by leaps and bounds over the
NVIDIA
last...
drives in their new phones.
That's right. By leaps and bounds over the last few generations. So what? Do you want Apple to just not build in any new functionality that takes advantage of the new phones? No, I don't necessarily expect that. But compared to Apple, and the Android ecosystem is just a complete mess, with some phones coming out with a given Android operating system that might not even be the most recent one, and then never ever even being updated. So
I've had phones like that.
Yeah, so I've got a couple of more notes on this. So it's the Consumentenbond, whatever. Okay, I'm sure that's a Dutch word that I just butchered just now. So it's a non-profit that looks after the interests of consumers in the Netherlands. So they're taking Samsung to court over failure to provide updates in a timely manner. They reached out to Samsung on December the 2nd, and in absence of a proper response, they issued injunctive relief proceedings against Samsung. So they say that 82% of Samsung phones it checked were not updated within 2 years of their introduction.
Yeah, not surprising. Samsung's a huge part of that Android ecosystem, and probably a huge part of that percentage that we found of unsecured phones.
A lot of people that I talk to think that it's an Apple or a Galaxy. Actually, like
when we were at CES, a lot of people were saying Apple or Samsung.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you have a Samsung? Or yeah. When I was at a booth for a battery that would heat up. Yes. I don't even know if it ended up being in one of our top 5s.
Was it like a hand warmer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy was like, "Do you have a Samsung?" I was like, "No." And then I pull up my phone. He's like, "Oh, you have a Samsung?" I'm like, "No, it's a Sony."
And
he's like, "But it's a Samsung." I'm like,
and
no.
That's not like, oh, you're an idiot because you don't realize that, an Android phone doesn't have to be a Samsung. The reality of it is that's probably all that most normal consumers have really seen. I mean, Samsung owns a huge chunk of the Android market. So, basically what the Dutch watchdog is asking is for Samsung to support every device it sells for 2 years, regardless of how old it is. Very, very interesting. So that would mean they would have to support starting at the EOL date rather than the introduction date. Yep. And it would mean that they can't just provide 1 or 2 updates on a flagship. If you guys are going to release a model, then you better actually support it. Something that could be a big problem for Samsung, because we've seen this. They take that, throw the pot of spaghetti at the wall and then figure out which noodles stick and kind of, support those ones approach. And that's not going to fly if you have to actually properly support your devices. You're going to have to actually, figure out what people want and build that instead of just building, do you remember that weird phone that they did for old people? The Galaxy, the Galaxy, it was
Didn't it have the custom operating system and stuff? And
no,
it was really large.
It was huge, and it was right around the time they introduced Easy Mode.
Yeah, Easy Mode.
And it had a 720p screen. I can't remember
custom
what it was.
Program, I should have said.
Yeah, I'm sure that Twitch chat is telling me all about it right now. But it was just hilarious. And they were like, yeah, it's like the smartphone for people who don't see very well. I'm like, really? How many of those are you going to sell? Did you actually survey senior citizens and ask them if they want this? Because I'm willing to bet they don't. I'm willing to bet they don't want it.
Don't improve your glasses.
Yeah.
Buy a special smartphone.
The Galaxy Mega, that's the one. Thank you to, can't read your name. It's in lime green and it's on a white background. So
Galaxy Mega is redonk.
Yeah,
it's like a small tablet.
Barely a small tablet. I think it was a 6.5-inch device or something ridiculous like that. All right.
This next one is interesting. So, the Apple II Widow, and this isn't exactly how they said it at all, but this is the title, I guess. Apple to Widow, want your dead husband's password, get a court order. A Canadian widow is locked in a battle with Apple over her dead husband's password for their iPad. She is stated saying, where is it? She used to play games on it or something, and now she can't, which sounds a little weird because she would have probably needed the password for that.
Well, yes and no. I mean, like, again, like, we take for granted as tech-savvy people that you want to figure out how to do things yourself. Not everyone's like that. Some people would just be like, hey, hubby, unlock this for me. I'm going to do a thing. Or, like, who knows? Like, maybe, like, I'm just guessing, but I'm coming up with plausible reasons why she might not care. Maybe she's not that mobile. Maybe he brought it to her every time. Right? Like, there's a lot of reasons why, you know, and people take care of each other. Like,
That's fair.
You know, my wife doesn't really know how to turn on our entertainment system.
It's really complicated.
She says it's complicated, which is, of course, a load of nonsense, but, okay, it doesn't necessarily work all the time. That is a valid observation about our entertainment setup. It's funny because the more...
It's probably a valid observation, but like everything that they have at their house.
But that's a perfect example. You got to remember, for some people, unlocking an iPad is about as foreign as, you know, firing up a receiver and selecting the right input for the friggin' Wii U.
Is it a technological system? Well, Linus has probably changed it 7 times in the last 4 months, so who knows what's going on right now. Am I wrong? Look at the servers.
I knew he was heading for this. I knew he was going to go after the server. You know what? That's it. I quit. Nope.
That's cool.
You do the show yourself.
I'm not really too sure about this personally. I think there's some issues there. Like, some people will stay together even if their relationship isn't good, and there could be private information on that iPad. So I don't actually really support the idea of just randomly getting access to all of the things for the person that used to be your spouse. That's actually kind of a little odd, in my opinion. Even in Apple's terms of services, Apple T&Cs, it says, agree that your account is non-transferable and that any rights to your Apple ID or content within your account terminate upon your death. Upon receiving a copy of your death certificate, your account may be terminated and all content within your account deleted. I actually kind of agree with that. Because while, yes, she might have been immobile and her husband may have brought her things and let her play the games on the tablet, there could also be another story. And I know I probably sound like an asshole for saying that.
Yep,
maybe
I agree with that. I came back at just the right moment. You're an asshole.
Wow.
I'm back, though.
You're so rude.
I'm back. Is that one of NEC's professional LCDs, like an older one? Look how thick it is. Sorry, I'll let you finish your story.
All of these are like that.
Maybe it's just really old. Okay, go ahead.
Probably going with that one. I was mostly done. What I was saying was, in Apple's T's and C's, if you die, your account is closed.
Yep.
Your account isn't given to someone, it is closed. And I actually totally agree with that. While there is the possibility where it's like, oh, honey, here, play games on the iPad. I'm sorry that you are having a not perfect day. It could also be something nefarious. Not every couple is doing super great when one of them passes.
And that's true. But I mean, the other thing that I kind of object to here is that with Apple devices, if they're locked to an Apple ID, you can't even reset it. So we're talking about a physical device that gets bricked by...
That's a little annoying.
Yeah, we're talking a physical device that is effectively bricked because someone passes away.
Apple should help them reset it.
I would think they should be able to do that.
All the data should be wiped, and Apple should help them reset
because
it. Because she should be able to play the games on the iPad.
Apple believes in privacy and encryption. Totally get that. Totally respect that. But that doesn't mean that hardware should just be rendered worthless by someone passing away. So, yeah.
They're in a freaking storage room, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. No, it's really cool. We have videos coming about what exactly it is we're doing here, and they are going to be worthwhile. Speaking of Apple, you know, I was actually going to say we should burn through our topics, and then I was going to say we should take turns going and finding cool stuff to talk about in the warehouse here. Yeah, so that was what I thought of while I was standing over there.
Cool.
So let's move right along. Thank you. I had a thought that was good. I felt pretty good. Wow, we have a lot of topics this week.
Yeah,
good job,
rapid
Colton.
fire are not rapid.
Colton's actually gotten to the point where he's doing a surprisingly good job of the WAN show document. Well, no, it's surprising given how crappy they were before. Which I guess doesn't make what I said any nicer.
Not even veiled at all insults. They were really bad, and you've made them not as bad.
No, they're really good now. That's why I said it's surprising. How do you go from like really terrible to quite excellent? So let's
Stop
do.
trying to compliment
Let's
people.
do. Oh no! If I wanted to compliment people, you'd know. So our first sponsor of the day is Comic Bento. You can use promo code Linus to save $5 on a new subscription. And Luke is going to do our unboxing of what the Avery Special Comic Bento box looks like while I run through some of the benefits. This is an amped theme, comics inspired by music or musicians. And Comic Bento is the original graphic novel subscription box. Each box contains at least
$50.
40 kilograms of bag force worth of at least $50 of surprise graphic novels. What do you got?
This one is, whoa, straight up Battlestar Galactica, Volume 1 Memorial.
Nice.
This one is Young Blood. You can check out that one.
Young Blood, Casey Donovan Crabtree.
This one is a Marvel comic of some type, I think. The Invincible Iron Man.
Marvel Masterworks.
So you apparently get some
Oh.
pretty sick stuff.
That's actually really cool.
And then there's one like big, super nice hardcover one at the end, which is The Fifth Beatle.
The Brian Epstein story. Huh. So basically, each box contains at least $50 worth of surprise graphic novels. So this one's, I mean, it's got a price right on the back cover. This one's worth $10. From the biggest creators in comics to the
This
unsung...
one by itself is 50 US or 55 Canadian, let alone the other things that are in the box.
Or Unsung Indie Heroes. It ships to the US and Canada and brings you a new theme each month with graphic novels to go along with it. So you head over to www.comicbento.com to check out their pricing, but it starts as low as $17.50 a month. And you can use offer code Linus to save $5 on new subscriptions. Guys, these guys are a new sponsor for us, so check it out. Let us know if it's cool. And, you know, as we always tend to do with new sponsors, if you guys all hate it and think that it's terrible, you might not see them again, but if you guys like it, let us know. And it seems actually like a pretty compelling value to me, though.
This is 110 US dollars.
So
I
there you
totaled
go.
all the values on the back, and it's 17.50.
Love it. And it starts at $17.50 plus shipping and handling.
Oh,
so just
starts
I'm not
as low as
100% sure what's included with every plan, but let us know, guys. Let us know what you think.
This could be like a special badass one.
All right, next up is Lynda.com. I think you guys all know what's cool about Lynda.com. Building it, learning style. Your brain, that is. Yes, my friends, learning things in your brain with online videos that are used by millions of people around the world. They've got more than, including this guy, they've got more than 3,000 courses available. They're taught by industry experts, and they have all kinds of tools that make Lynda.com easier to use than ever before. I mean, it used to be you had to stream the courses. Now you can just download them and play them back on demand on your iOS or Android device. You can take notes. You can share playlists of courses with your friends so you can all learn the same stuff at the same time and support each other. You can get a 10-day free trial, which gives you access to every course on Lynda.com. Yes, all you can eat. And plans start at only $25 a month. So whether you want to get better at your hobby or train for a brand new career and really, you know, amp things up in your professional life, head over to lynda.com/WAN show to claim your 10-day free trial and start learning today.
Seriously, like personal comment. They're pretty sweet. I've been doing it lately. They're really easy to follow along.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're back on it.
Yeah.
For photography, right?
Yeah, they're really easy to follow
Yep.
along. The teacher that I'm doing photography stuff, the teacher that I have is actually awesome, and the videos are really good. And then there's a script that go along with each video, which I like a lot, because you can search through the script with like Control F or whatever, and then find that part of the video if you just want to look something specific
We need
up.
a shirt. Control F or whatever. How to find things. And finally, Freshbooks. So if you run a small business, whether it's, I don't know, say for example, you run a small computer repair shop, or you were to refurbish computer things in your small neighborhood, or whatever the case may be. If you run if you're a plumber or electrician, some kind of a freelancer, Freshbooks could be the breath of fresh air that your accounting system needs. It's all cloud-based. It allows you to keep track of your hours, keep track of the expenses for your jobs, keep track of your invoice, send bills to clients, see if your clients have viewed their bills, and you can even have them pay directly through the app. And if you run a sort of business that requires deposits, say for example you're a house painter, FreshBooks allows you to process deposit payments separately before the lump sum at the end. You can do the split however you want. It is easy to use even if you're not a numbers person, especially if you're not a numbers person, and lets you focus your time on running your business rather than doing boring paperwork, because not everyone has a wife to do all of his boring paperwork for him. Thanks, hon.
One thing, okay, I've always been confused about this. You say especially if you're not a numbers person.
Yes.
Why is it easier if you're not a numbers person?
Because it's relative ease. If you're a wicked numbers person, the relative ease with which you could whip through this stuff in a spreadsheet...
So it's relatively easier.
Yes.
Not actually easier.
It's how much... Yeah, it doesn't make it easier if you are not a numbers person. Being a numbers person will still help you use FreshBooks. Okay. It's how much of an improvement you can expect to gain.
No, I got that. It's just, it's not fundamentally easy. That's why I read it the first time. I was like, but no. Okay.
No, I get it. I get where they're going. I get where they're going with that.
Yeah. Oh, I thought that was your comment.
No. That's FreshBooks' pitch. So our topic people posted in the forum so far are Daub SJR, Aries Krieger, Z Mule, and we've got WKD Paul, and we've got Mr. Troll. Mr. Troll. No, wait. No, we have Z Mule again. So apparently Google paid Apple $1 billion US dollars to keep their search bar on the iPhone. Holy actual crap.
Hopefully Google can play Firefox more so that Firefox stops telling me that if everyone reading this donated $3, they wouldn't need to ask anymore.
Well, no, that deal's dead, right? Firefox is with Yahoo now for a long time.
No, I know.
Oh, yeah.
But
okay.
I think
But you
Yahoo,
just wish that hadn't been a thing.
I think Yahoo isn't paying them as much money. Probably because everyone's manually switching their search back to Google anyways. So the aggressiveness of Firefox asking for money is pretty intense.
Right.
And I've actually donated a relatively okay amount of money to Firefox, and they're still actually that's probably why.
That's probably the reason, because as soon as I donated to Wikipedia, they harass me all the time.
Yeah.
Same thing with BC Children's Hospital. I get letters all the time. I'm like, Canadian Red Cross, actually, they were really making me mad because I actually have a monthly donation to them. Monthly, every month. And all of a sudden they were calling me all the time. They were like, yo, can you re-up? Can you double up? I'm like, come on. Why don't you go keep doing what you were doing? Going door to door. Someone came to my door and was like, yo, do you want to donate to the Canadian Red Cross? I'm like, sure. So go do more of that. Find new donors. Don't harass the people who are already yeah, I think what you're doing is great. Because you're gonna lose my support. I think there's a nice way to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Apple apparently received $1 billion from Google in 2014 to keep the search bar, according to the transcript of the court proceedings from Oracle Corp's lawsuit against Google. So Google has an agreement that gives Apple a percentage of revenue that Google generates through Apple devices. At one time, that share was apparently 34%.
Although we don't know
who got the 34.
Yeah.
The attorney for Google tried to get the judge to strike the mention from the record, which did not work.
Obviously. John is here. Is that just crazy?
What's that?
If someone had an agreement where there was we're sharing 34% of this profit thing, and someone was like, can you just strike that from the agreement in court? That's just never going to work, right?
Not unless there's some sort of exceptional circumstance or maybe evidence that that was just slipped in without the other party's knowledge, or just something crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. John assures us that would have been very unlikely.
Yeah.
He's our resident. Used to know a thing or two about law before he became a Canadian.
Disclaimer: not licensed to practice law in California.
Yeah. Disclaimer: not licensed to practice law in Canada. That's
or
California. Oh, really?
Well, we were talking about California.
Oh, we were talking about California. Who cares? Okay, you do. I know because that's
I'm sad now.
We love you, John.
Love you, boss.
Intel is rebuilding itself on 3 pillars, and the PC is apparently not one of them.
So their 3 pillars are like Internet of Things, server, and memory?
So their CEO, Brian Krzanich, said that the PC business provides a foundation of intellectual property and a source of cash flow, but it is not the sole driver of our growth. I actually read this article. Okay, this is one where Colton's notes could have been a little bit better, because it was something along the lines of the PC is... Here, I'm gonna... Okay, so already those 3 businesses generated nearly 40% of Intel's revenue and 60% of their operating profits. Very, very interesting. So that's how Intel continues to grow lately, in spite of the ever-shrinking demand for desktop PCs. Now, I suspect there's some chicken and egg going on here, where if Intel was building dramatically faster computers that enabled dramatically different user experiences, there might be more demand for them, but Intel also is not in control of the pace of the rest of the industry, so Intel can build as many 8-core CPUs as it wants, but if no one is building software that actually leverages all those threads, then they're basically just more cores sitting in your computer consuming power and doing pretty much not a whole lot of anything.
Which is a thing.
Which I totally get. AMD's news is...
they lost a lot of money, but, like, not as much.
But actually more, depending on how you want to compare it.
Yeah.
Yay, AMD!
Hey.
It is just kind of a miracle to me that they still
Enabling
exist
today,
at this
inspiring
point.
tomorrow. Losing today. Losing money today. Losing money tomorrow.
Hopefully not losing money anymore 3 days after tomorrow. That's the goal. So you guys can check out the numbers if you want. As usual, we're gonna have all that stuff linked. But the long and the short of it is that on a revenue of just shy of $4 billion, they were down 28% year over year revenue-wise, primarily due to lower client processor sales. They had a gross margin of 27%, down 6 percentage points year over year. And due to lower unit volumes, and product mix, and they had a net loss of $660 million on that $4 billion of revenue, which is, okay. Yep.
Hopefully their processors and new GPUs do well in the future.
Yep, I think that we're all hoping for their upcoming GPUs to absolutely rock the house.
That would be really good.
And for their Zen processors to rock even more houses, even harder.
I agree with that statement too, because of exactly what Intel just did.
So that article was posted by Zmule. The next one we have up here, also Zmule. Zmule's like on fire this week.
I'm gonna post all the articles because my name is Zmule.
Yeah, that's what he sounds like.
Yeah.
All right, you hit this one.
He types that fast. He's like, "Brr." Okay, so this is actually not that interesting. Sorry, Z-Mule. It is in rapid fire. And Colton. It is in rapid fire on the thing. The Oculus' founder, so Palmer Luckey, is being sued for stuff. Apparently, he worked for some company in 2011 who had him produce some stuff, and then now maybe that stuff is part of an Oculus, or maybe it's not. We don't know. All we know at all is that a judge said, like, okay, this can become something in court.
Luckey calls the lawsuit a brazen attempt to secure for themselves a stake in Oculus VR's recent multi-billion-dollar acquisition by Facebook. So basically,
Probably.
doesn't seem to think a whole lot of it.
Yep.
We've got another rapid-fire topic. Wow, Z-Mule again.
Z-Mule!
Z-Mule! I am Z-Mule. I carry all the news things. So here the original article is from the JEDEC website. These are the presumably super cool at a party engineers who develop memory standards.
Actually, to be completely honest, if I was at a party and there was a JEDEC engineer, I would definitely probably hang out with them the entire time.
So I was actually okay. I'm gonna
Just
tangent.
putting that out there, and I know you've done that kind of stuff before too.
Yep, I was at an OCZ party where like some famous person, like some rapper or something, I can't remember, like actually a big deal, was performing, and I managed to find a guy who worked on the original SATA specification Then he like worked at Marvell like during those years, and like he like talked my ear off about SATA the entire time. We like found a quiet corner, and I was just like, so like tell me about this and tell me about that, and like, you know, what makes it better than PATA? How do we make it faster? How do we keep making it faster? What's the future of drive interfaces? And like the okay, whatever, Taryn, it was cool. So yes, as much as
literally is wearing a shirt that says "Talk nerdy to me,"
yeah,
and tries to mock you,
yeah,
about some guy talking nerdy to you,
yeah.
What a fool.
Anyway, JEDEC publishes GDDR5X graphics memory standard, so they're targeting data rates in the 10 to 14 gigabit per second range, which would be about a 2x increase over GDDR5. Now, to be clear, this is not a replacement for HBM or HBM2, which is what you're going to see on high-end graphics cards like AMD's current Fiji cards, but rather a replacement for the mid-range cards where you can't necessarily afford the additional cost of cutting-edge HBM memory, nor would you necessarily see a benefit from it, because it's no secret that modern high-end cards are doing just fine with GDDR5. So it usually takes a few generations for a mid-range or a low-end card to catch up to the performance of an old high-end card, so in theory we'd be good with slower memory for quite some time. Well, this is a way to address that.
Yeah.
Alright, what else we got here? I think I'm just gonna kind of...
do you want to do the thing?
Yeah, let's do it. Why don't you go first while I do a little mini news thing here. So this was posted by that Norwegian guy. The original article here is WCCF Tech. And let me just pull up my screen capture here. The GTX 970, now the most popular graphics card on the Steam survey, which I actually had a number of people in the forum thread about this say was not interesting and not remarkable. That is incredibly interesting and incredibly remarkable. I don't remember the last time, actually no, I think probably the last time we would have seen a current gen card, like high-end card, as a top card on the Steam survey would have been in the 8800 GT days. And what you guys need to also realize is the 8800 GT was, I think it was like, it was $299 or something, $249 I think it launched. Then it got jacked up to $299, and then for like super clock or whatever, it was up to like $349. Don't quote me on the exact numbers, but it was a very, very reasonable price and delivered pretty much the same performance as the 8800 GTX that had come before it. So that was an extremely disruptive card. The GTX 970, not that disruptive compared to NVIDIA's own lineup. So the fact that it has sold so incredibly well... No, go ahead. I'm going to run and get one. The fact that it has sold so incredibly well over time really points to what a success NVIDIA has been in creating and marketing that card. All right, well, you talk about what you found. I'm going to go find something cool. If you guys want to find cool things, then...
So I don't even know, like, what entirely this is. It has little arm things which seem to be able to operate. So this one is like a clampy arm. The other one is also a clampy arm, but it has like, you could put something in it and it would sit there. I don't know how it operates. Like the arm can move. It can reach out and grab things and do whatever. But realistically, like there's a huge thing in the back. There's DCN. I'm assuming the head turns internally within the dome. The dome doesn't turn itself. But it's a tape player. So right now there is currently a Depeche Mode tape. Construction Time Again by Depeche Mode. So it's a tape player and a robot. I don't know. It's not for sale. It's up in the store. It's not for sale. This is what was actually right beside it, so I'm going to take this away.
You're up.
All right.
Okay, so I found two things. First of all, this awesome Coca-Cola phone. That's not really that big of a deal. Putting replacement plates on phones was a thing. No. What I'm into right here is this Toshiba T1200. Yes, my friends. Mechanical keyboard. Yeah, that's right. LCD display with brightness knob wheel right here. Latching fold-down display. LCD contrast wheel over here on the left, as well as A, B, and dis and reset, whatever the devil all that is. We've got our 12-volt input, our power on and off switch, as well as there's a hard drive on and off switch, which I think is fantastic. The battery release button here, it's got a printer port, external floppy disk drive port, composite port, keypad port, RGB, I think. Did they used to call it VGA? Oh, look at that. That 3.5-inch floppy drive with 3.5-inch expansion bay below it. This thing is about as freaking vintage as it gets. Made by the Toshiba Corporation. And I think John's got something. John, sub in here, man. Go for it. Tell them all about what you found.
So, I just found what appears to be... Okay, can you guys see me? Great. I think this is the original Sound Blaster. It has... Oh, hi, Luke. Luke is back. So it has a joystick port. Okay, it has an old school joystick port. It has some sort of dial. It has some sort of like weird dial thing sticking out. I guess that's for volume. And something called the talking parrot. This mischievous parrot mimics your speech, talks back, passes outrageous remark, and screams when you tickle it. So it kind of sounds like the predecessor to Bonzi Buddy, except it won't install like horrible malware on your system that you can't get rid of. Yeah, system requirements, DOS 2.0 or higher, coming to an EGB, or excuse me, an EGA based graphics system near you. So yeah.
You need 512 kilobytes of RAM minimum.
Whoa, hold on
guys.
there, Luke.
Make sure you have at least 512 kilobytes of RAM.
Who has 512 kilobytes of RAM?
I don't.
I heard that's all you'll ever need.
No, Bill Gates said what, it was like 64.
No,
You
he
know
never
what
said
I
that.
He never
It's a
said
misquote.
that.
Oh,
yeah.
so, okay then. Today I learned.
They have giant stacks. I only brought part of the giant stacks. I don't even know if these are written yet. Probably not. But they have giant stacks of all the Linux you could need. They have Ubuntu and I believe Mint. You can come here and get a free disk. And then one thing that I like is going to be kind of hard to show, but I'll get it up there. Giant bin of CPUs.
Yeah, you can see it. Show them the Pentium Pro. Show them the Pentium Pro. And they can't hear you, remember, because the mic's over here. Check out that Pentium Pro. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Okay. I've got two. I cheated. I brought two things.
I brought two things.
Oh, you brought two things too. Okay, mine right here. This, my friends, is the 3D mouse. 3D mouse. It's made by A4 Tech since 1987. Feel the noiseless comfort. It's actually got like a thing through the package so you can spin the scroll wheel. Check this out. DPI 520, which is 30% faster than 400 DPI. Wow, amazing. Enjoy quiet scrolling without distracting noises. 3D mouse. Wow.
Wait,
also,
does it go in the Z direction and also X? And
no,
Y?
it does not. Of
So it
course
doesn't
not.
do Z. It just does X and Y.
Yeah.
How is it a 3D?
Here,
mouse?
show them the close up of the package. The package is
I
so
don't know if
amazing.
This is in focus.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, shift it down a little bit. It's got a reflection. There, the other way. There you go. Okay, check that out. DPI 520 is 30% faster than 400 DPI, my friends.
Wow.
Yes, my friends. Wow, indeed. Okay, check this out. This is okay. You're my Vanna White right now, I think. This is higher. There you go. This is before the AOL CD became a thing. Okay, that is an AOL 3.5-inch floppy diskette. Yes, my friends, that is a great value right there. I can let that go for as little as $14.99.95. Yes, that can be done in 7 easy payments of $200. Going once, going twice, gone. My sanity is gone. Thank you for that. Did you find something, John? Get in there. All right, go. I'm gonna put that. I don't know where the 3D mouse.
So, this is another fantastic thing I found. You guys remember this? It's one of those old slot-style Pentium 2s, and thank you, Taryn. And if I recall correctly, I think this is the only slot-style consumer CPU that Intel ever produced. And hey, Linus, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but wasn't this basically just a Pentium 3 without some like instruction set extension?
I don't remember actually. You're going back so far that
Yeah.
it's before my time.
The performance isn't too far off from a Pentium 3, but it comes in this really cool slot that has a shiny thing on it, and they just don't make them like that anymore, unfortunately. The Pentium 2.
Can you sit down, Karen?
I can sit down. Okay.
They can't hear me.
I'm talking for
Can
Luke.
they see it on the screen?
Yeah, you hold it higher up. Yeah, right there. That's a
This is
whole
all
bunch of RAM.
2 gigabytes minimum capacity.
2
ECC.
gigabytes minimum capacity ECC memory. You're just gonna have to talk louder. I can't.
I'll
talk
do
what you
it.
say.
All right, so that is a bucket of 2 gig sticks of DDR2 ECC RAM, server RAM right there. A lot of those look like fully buffered DIMMs if they have those heat sinks on them. Yes, my friends, that is a very, very small fraction of the random RAM that they have around here. They got everything. Check this out. New sealed Microsoft Windows Server 2003 Enterprise Edition. Brand new sealed Adobe Photoshop CS4. What else you got over there? Oh, that is a doozy of a keyboard. This, my friends, Commodore 64 keyboard. It's got the green sticker on it, so that means it works. I mean, look at this. This has keys that run stop. Like, are you kidding me? Control port 1, control port 2. This is pre my days. Like, my family had a Commodore, but that was when I was at an age where I would not remember such a thing. I mean, Commodore, they counted like Microsoft. F1, F3, F5, F7. It's like Xbox 360, Xbox One. No one knows how to count in the computer industry. It's absolutely amazing. So I think we're gonna get kicked out of here pretty soon. So we're not gonna carry on too much longer. But if Luke and John find one more thing each, we can show you guys some other cool relics here. But don't miss. Oh wow, Taryn brought. Yeah. Okay. Well, this is worth waiting around for, guys.
This. Am I holding it up correctly?
Can they hear you? Yeah, it's good. It's good. They can see
explain
it. Okay, so this was actually donated as is, except for probably the Free Geek sticker that's sitting in there. It's FedEx shipping boxes that someone made, rotated around. Yeah, that someone made into a computer case that's still holding together. It was properly water cooled at one point. It's been slightly taken apart, so it's not exactly functional this moment, but it could work if you just kind of hook some things up and probably replace the fluid. So yeah, people can get creative. I don't know. That's pretty crazy. So someone ran this as their computer. Is it a fire hazard? Maybe, to a certain degree. But, it worked.
This is the best thing ever.
It worked.
I was taking a picture.
It did work. This is another one of those, like, actually not for sale things. And if Taryn dropped it, it would be very bad.
Oh, I was just gonna go on the other side. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so thank you guys very much, all 8,600 of you, for tuning in to the WAN show, broadcast to you live here at Free Geek. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks to Free Geek for allowing us to be here today. Thanks to all of my staff for going through a very unorthodox workday and spending the time here to help these guys, refurb computers and help out people who otherwise can't afford to get one. And I would like to announce, actually, at this time, that in addition to us just kind of being here, chilling with these guys and spending some time, some labor time, we have also committed to make a donation to help them to keep their operation going. Keep the lights on. Businesses, even if they're not-for-profit businesses, have real expenses that they actually legitimately have to pay. I don't remember how much money I said.
You said $1,000.
I said $1,000.
We have not done it yet.
We won't be doing it yet. We're waiting for some accounting stuff on their side that they actually need to sort out. But we're also committing a $1,000 donation to Free Geek because we think what they're doing is absolutely fantastic. So, again, thanks to them for allowing us to be here. Thanks to you guys for tuning in, and we will see you again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, totally different bat place. I think we're speaking of bats, we're batting about, 200, batting 200. I remember how that works. We're batting 200 for actually broadcasting the WAN show together from the normal location.
That means twice.
That means 20%. For the last 5 shows, we've only done
500 is like perfect?
500
half.
is even, 50-50.
Yeah. So basically, they moved the decimal over
Yeah,
2
I
places
gotcha.
for no apparent reason.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Perfect.
Yeah. So
That's weird.
go baseball.
Why'd you do that?
America. All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. No
Bye.
after party today, unfortunately. We have to pack up and go.
No.
Okay,
And I will be
just-
doing a
sorry,
thing, but
sorry,
I'm
guys,
like...
no after party today. We have to pack up and go. Sorry, you go ahead and say
And I
your
will
thing.
be doing a thing, after party thing on my Twitch channel, but not for like a while, because I'm
We're in Vancouver.
really far away from home.
Yeah.
So
Yay!
don't wait for it. Nope.
It looks cool.
Oh, that's the desktop background.
Yeah, it's the background.
Oh, that's easy.
That is easy.
Oh, whoops! I should turn off the show.
Camera